Personally, as a partisan politician, I believe that the shortest route for Southeast presidency is the north is the northeast in this present dispensation. Because if you look at it, I've said it before now, even before the primaries, that you need a president from either the northeast or the southeast. I was looking at the two major political parties. And I believe now that the Northeast has emerged because even in the PDP, I'm a member of PDP, even in PDP, the Bala Mohammed report of my party said that the next president for 2023 should either be from the Northeast or the Southeast because the two zones are the zones that have been marginalized since the Nigerian Biafran Civil War. Neither the Northeast nor the Southeast has produced the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The best they have gotten was the vice president. The Southeast got that through Ekweme, the Northeast got that through Atiku Abubakar. And since then till date, neither of the two zones have produced the president and commander-in-chief. So the fair thing to do is to allow either of the two zones to go. Now, in my party, we are presenting the Northeast candidate, and we believe that he will be succeeded by the Southeast president. He has made commitment. Of course, a lot of candidates are campaigning on various grounds. Some people like Kwankwaso are saying that he is going to be president because the North will vote for him. Other candidates have identified the challenges of Nigeria and they have been telling us on how to cut costs. My candidate, the PDP candidate, has identified that the major problem we have is to unify this country. He is the most experienced running for this election, having served as a two-term president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has acted as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He is the best position. He is the most liberal in terms of accepting other zones, dealing with people as individuals. The kind of statement you saw from Kwankwaso can never come from Atiku. What the other aspirants, other candidates, even what their promoters, their supporters are doing on social media, you can never see that for people supporting Atiku. So he is one Nigeria that can unite all of us. We need that, the most important thing. In 2019, we feasted on him that he said he was going to sell an NPC. What are we seeing? What has the NPC contributed to the economy since then? And he's bold enough. You see, Atiku Abubakar was a member of the Constituent Assembly, or was it Constituent Assembly, whatever that it was called, by the Abacha. Have you been opportunity to read the recommendation of that panel, which would have been promulgated into law if Abacha had not died in 1995? Atiku Abubakar was a member from Adamawa State. So whenever he talks about his passion, his dedication, his commitment to restructure Nigeria. So for me, as a person, the most important thing in Nigeria is for this country to be restructured. I don't want to be in Abuja. I want to be in my village in Obo. If you restructure Nigeria, give powers to the other zones. It's only in Nigeria that is purportedly running a federal system where everything is concentrated in Abuja. And this man has been making that promise. And the irony of it is that promise and commitment has made him to be unpopular in the north. And he's supposed to be very popular in the south for that. Despite the fact that it's going to cost him something, that's how you know a leader. He has insisted on that. What are other candidates telling us? That is our turn. Oh, I made this person, therefore it's my turn. Okay, I know how to cut down costs. Definitely, Nigeria, the cost will be cut down. The cost will be cut down. But that is not just why we are electing a president. Are you comfortable in Nigeria now? Do you feel free discussing with people like Kwankwaso's mindset? We need a unifier. Somebody who has been acknowledged by most of the aspirants, most of the candidates to be a unifier, to unify us. I want to be close to you no matter where you come from. I want a president that will relate with me. I want a president, somebody was making mockery of his marriage to this. It's not about marriage. There are people running for this presidency that cannot have a handshake with you because of where you come from. They look down on you. But in the same brace, you have somebody in his bedroom. You have somebody from that has the same background as you, irrespective of where you come from. You can make mockery of that, but that is the truth. I know of a president who is a president now who cannot have handshake with somebody because they are from different religious background. This man has kids all over the place from different zones. Make mockery of that, but that is the reality. It shows his disposition. He is in the best position to unify Nigeria. In him, you find everything about you. In him, you find something connecting you to him as a person. In him, he excites you as one of you.
For me, I respect the man in the studio, and he was trying to say his party. That is normal thing to do. He's a PDP man. For me, I am a PDP man when I was in Nigeria. But for me, I don't vote party. I vote at the candidate. That is how I do. And when he brought a candidate out, I look at what is this person going to impact in my life. If the APC is going to be the person to give me a good candidate, I will vote for APC. I don't vote for party, and that is where Nigeria is getting it wrong. It's a shame that at this level, 21st century, we are still talking about a president for unifying, a president because he have my race in his house that should permit me to vote for him. That comes the level we now see in Nigeria. And it's a shame. This is a country that has more than millions of professors, masters, degrees. So when it comes to like this level, that you must marry somebody from Igbo for me to give you a vote, that shows the level we are now putting Nigeria. It's a shame. And what baffles me, one thing about Nigeria that people don't have shame anymore. They can come out on air, they say whatever they want to say. For me, if my father is in APC or is in the PDP coming out for election, I would just call him, please, can you go back and sit down? Because you haven't offered me anything. Now, somebody from APC don't even have anything to use to campaign for this election. What can anybody in APC, even I'm looking at Amechi coming out to say something. If I am Amechi, I'm not supposed to come out to even to say a word because you are the person that then just give a minister of transport. You can't even guide, even secure your citizen. Your citizen was kidnapped under your nose. You can't even provide the security. Imagine somebody cannot provide the security for a citizen, just a small minister. Now you want to come and control Nigeria. That shows you the level. In Nigeria where anything goes, you does anything you do, you go for that. Nobody's going to catch you. Nobody's going to arrest you. That is Nigeria we are now. We want everybody. They want us to be looking at. And it baffles me that all these people that come out on air, they say something. Most of them have been abroad. They have been abroad and see how things have been done. People build road, you build everything. It's only in Nigeria you see people when they want to build a small mall, they will put their picture in that place because they want to show you that I want to do a project for you. That is a project that people do here within a week. They will put their picture in that place. So that shows you the level they want me to be thinking, the level they want me to be seeing my president. So for me, it's a shame. So looking at Atiku have been in the political phase for more than since 1991 or something in that nature. He's been a vice president. So because for you being a vice president, you're supposed to be contributing in Nigeria system. So if you're a vice president, you couldn't be able to force your power to make a Nigeria a better place. I don't see any reason why you should be a president because you can only contribute when you become a president. That is far. Go to other countries, see how their vice president even contribute to the growth of the nation. It's only in Nigeria I think I have to become a president for him to contribute the growth of Nigeria. This young man has been in political system for how many years now? So there is nothing to show for it. When Peter Obi says something, he asks you go and verify. Can any politician, can any of them say go and verify? They can't even say that word. None of them use that word. Today, ABSU is on strike. ABSU is on strike. It's only in Anambra State that is students are still going to school. That was because of the foundation Peter Obi lent there. So this young man have done it, and he have proved to you that if I can do it in a small environment, then I can do much better. And that is what Nigeria is seeing. Nigeria is not looking at because of Atiku have been in the system because he's going to be unifying people. Cutting costs is what Nigeria need now. It's only in Nigeria that a lecturer, somebody that is a lecturer in a university, Then somebody that is a councillor is earning more than a lecturer. That is a shame. Go to other countries where countries are functioning, Western world. When you become a professor, people respect you. It's only in Nigeria we glorify thieves. When somebody is when you do something bad, we cheer you up. When you are corrupt, we cheer you up. We cheer failure. That is what Nigeria has become now. We should cheer Atiku because for me, they are failure. They are just all of because PDP and APC are the same people. They just switch changing party. It's like when you want to change football club, you just move from Ehimba to Para United. It's the same thing. That is what they are doing in PDP and APC. Atiku is the same member of APC. When he lost party for 2015, he moved APC and campaigned for this. They are the people that brought Buhari into power because he didn't fit into own narrative. They are there for their own personal for Nigerians. And this one thing I
All
want
right,
them to understand, the
Collins.
more they yeah, I want to make it short now. One thing they understand, the more they keep talking about P2B, the more they keep making him more popular because this is idea. It's like when it comes to like a Biafra something, anybody, no matter where, from Igbo person or anybody, once you have that idea of Biafra, nobody can take it away from you. It may take long, it may take years, but they can't shine it away from people. This is there, and you can't take idea from people. So I yield back
Thank
to
you,
the panel.
Collins. I
Can
appreciate
I,
that.
can I quickly
Yeah, you can respond.
you see, I will continue to say this. When I talked about that, it's unfortunate that somebody is trying to, summarize what I said because I think married. I didn't say that. I said because of his lifestyle, his disposition to everybody, he cannot. And I even said the kind of statement that came from Pakwanso that neither Atiku nor any of his supporters will ever make such comment. That was what I said. And at times, I'm sorry to use the word ignorance. I said, when people are ignorant of what you are saying, they may not understand you. I said, this young man, Atiku Abubakar, as a young man, was in the 1995 Constituent Assembly that was considered by Abacha. What you ask yourself, what was the recommendation of the panel? I said, this man was there, it was discussed. The problem in that because you had Ojukwu there, you had Ekweme there, everybody was represented. And the problem of Nigeria was discussed, and they agreed. It was meant to be promulgated as our law. In that, their recommendation, we're supposed to have more than one vice president. The evolution of power was discussed. That's what I'm talking about. So how can I be ashamed that you didn't understand me? Do you understand me? Somebody cannot come on and say I should be ashamed. How would I be ashamed that you didn't understand me? I said, this man, he has acted as a president. He's going to hit the ground running from day one. This man has made commitment. He's going to hand over, at least it was said by the chairman of TICOM. As we speak up to date, he has not come to this time himself from the statement that he will hand over to somebody from the southeast. And I believe is the shortest route to southeast presidency.
But Nigeria's presidency is not just take, let me hope for you.
No, but PDP as a party, I said it. PDP as a party said, in the recommendation of Bala Mohammed report, maybe you are not following me too, they said northeast and southeast should be considered in 2023.
So why didn't the PDP,
at the end of the day,
the PDP then obey its constitution or rotation?
At the end of the day, it depends on what you mean by obeying the constitution. The PDP had a constitution. The PDP, looking at what was happening from each state of the federation, nominated people that went and discussed this, and they said, we have rotation in our constitution. We are retaining the rotation in our constitution. It is going to be part of our constitution. But considering the position we have found ourselves and the timing now, that we are going to allow everybody to run. Unanimous decision from every state of the federation. When you have a constitution, the constitution does not run you. You run the constitution. It was agreed. It was recommended. The party accepted it. When the party accepted it, people who are complaining are not registered member of PDP like myself. Are telling me what is in our constitution. He can't be telling me what is in my. This is in my constitution. That was why a committee was formed, represented by Every state of the federation, 5 states of the Southeast were represented in that committee. The decision of the committee was unanimous. And somebody who is not a member of my party, who has not participated, who probably has never attended any political party meeting, either the world level or any level whatsoever, is outside telling me what is happening in my own family, PDP. We agreed. We gave the position to ourselves. We said, considering what is happening, we should allow it to fly now, but it's still part of our constitution. Nobody challenged it. As we speak, nobody has challenged it. No member of the PDP has challenged it. The people who are already quoting PDP should obey their constitution are people who are not registered members of the PDP. How can you be telling me what is in my constitution? So what I'm saying in effect is that this man has experience. This man has everything. This man said, this man is, if you see around him, if you come around him, you cannot, nobody has ever accused Atiku of running as so-so from so-so zone. They see him as Nigerian presidential candidate. And who is going to be, by the grace of God, Nigerian president. Of course, we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss Kwankwaso's comments. But there's no way you discuss Kwankwaso's comments without making reference to what another presidential candidate would have said.
I love the way you wrapped it up. That we are not discussing.
We are not campaigning.
You have done that.
No, because people kept making comments. I mean, somebody. There's a joke. There's a joke. One of my brothers, I was a federal commissioner in 2014. He was saying, these people, you agree what you guys are doing, that it has to stop. If you see the anger, my brother, we live together in London. Before I left London to come back to Nigeria, I said, why did you come back when I came back? If you see the event and all that, then I called him the other day. I said, congratulations. Because he just finished building his house. They promoted Buhari. At the end of the day, Buhari made pounds stronger than Naira, and whatever he had a lot of money to throw around. Today, if you check most of the people who are telling you with bitterness and all that, people who are not in Nigeria. People who don't need to travel from Abuja to Kaduna. People who don't need to come to the office and see somebody from another zone. They don't have problems with that. Everything works. So they see that, that idealistic whatever, oh, this person is going to cut costs, this person is carrying his bag, oh, Tony Blair did that, therefore this person, even those people who are carrying their bags in UK and all that, they are still thrown out for non-performance.